Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Project Fev, Tarot and More. I'm Sharon, Intuitive Empath, and I'm channeling for Cancer. Hi Cancers, hi Cross Watchers. This is your love reading for the month of April, okay? And I've started to focus the readings more topically. I find that I can channel the energy more specifically for you guys if I don't just leave it so broad, because it's already a general reading, which gives broad energy to channel as it is. I'm going to do more focused readings. So this is going to be the love focus for Cancer for the April month. Of course, take it as it resonates. A little bit of housekeeping. I'm just going to shuffle up for the energy as we talk about the housekeeping stuff, okay? I've already let the divine know what our intentions are. So a little bit of housekeeping. Take it as it resonates. If you don't know how to determine whether or not the body of the message resonates with you, then go ahead and watch the instructional video that I've added to the channel. Does this resonate, or how to know if this resonates with you? Okay, little tips about the different verbiage and terminology that I might use throughout a reading, kind of explains it all. The way that I tend to source reading, channel reading, and then how I lay the cards out, because you can't really see them just yet. So I thought I would do that kind of for you guys too. Readings are not time specific, time stamped. So even though we're doing this with the intention of representing April's love energy for you guys, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen in April. Most likely it will, or something the likes of it will, because it represents the energy that's upcoming. But this, if it resonates with you when you watch it, then the energy and the message is meant for you. It's non-gender specific. You'll hear me say he, she. This is not my message. The message is being channeled. So understand that the he, she might be talking to a specific group of you, not necessarily all of you. So he, she, non-gender specific, divine feminine, divine masculine, or masculine feminine energy. Okay, everything comes down to energy in the universe, and spirit and universe doesn't care about he, she, and the anatomical form that you have taken on this planet. Okay, so then we move to the channel. Hi newbies, welcome. Those subscribers, you guys, thank you so much. I'm so excited to watch the channel grow. You guys have no idea. It makes me just like, it makes my heart melt every single time I come on and there's more subscribers and there's more people interested. Just because, and it's not for me necessarily, it's just like the interest in tarot, or the interest in the divine spirit, or being divinely led, just how open people have become to those types of energies. And open-minded and open-hearted to learning new things, trying new things, or just searching in general, you know, just searching in general. Oh, well, 2 came out at the same time, so I guess that means 2 for you. Extra 1 over here. We'll get to that in a minute. But I tend to use a traditional tarot spread, Celtic cross, starting out, and then we kind of use some of my clarifying decks to give you guys advice and whatever else spirit wants to bring to you. That's the message, okay? As always, click like. That helps the video circulate. So even if it doesn't help you, it might resonate with somebody else. So get that video, get this video out there for other Cancers whose message this might be for. Also, subscribe to the channel. That helps the channel circulate, and it helps the messages get out there for everyone. And then also click the little bell. It's the notification button, so that you guys get a little ding ding on your phone, a little notification on your phone anytime there's new content uploaded. Okay, so I think that's it. That's all the housekeeping, right? Yeah, if you're a newbie, welcome. Thank you for watching. If you are coming back from a previous reading, back to the channel to watch or cross-watching, thank you for being here. I love that you guys are here. Give me that energy. I love that energy. So let's just go ahead and move right into the reading. Okay, so basically, the love readings are coming out so different than the signs. So clearly, Cancers, you guys have been feeling out of your element lately. Okay, so you guys aren't feeling very water, and you're not channeling a lot of water. You guys are actually channeling a lot of fire. So you're either fiery on the inside with inner conflict and inner dialogue, because the swords have also made an appearance in the thought position. But basically, I think what you're doing is viewing the situation as a crossroads. You guys are either at a stalemate with your partner, or you're at a crossroads with your partner. Okay, it depends all on perception. And I really think that this reading will basically get down to the bottom of what that perception is. Okay, and a lot of okay, so here's the thing. This is a new day. I totally, you saw me like moving and shuffling the cards. Okay, so it's interesting to me because in several other reads that I did yesterday and a couple of days before, the Five of Swords has been showing up, and in the upright or reverse in every single reading. So there's something going on with people in general. So there's a general energy in relationships and how we're relating to one another, where there's this desire to be either the verbal, psychological, or intellectual victor. Okay, and I think that that's the case here, is maybe your desire is to, I think some of you have got a little bit of or there was a situation with a forked tongue, previous, way previous, okay? But the residual energy of it is kind of lingering a little bit. It's lingering, okay? So whatever happened, and this could be months ago, mind you, because in the past position, we've got the Two of Cups in the upright, and in the current situation, we've got the Two of Swords upright. So the way that you guys were relating with each other was very much dreamy energy, very much in lovey-dovey land, mutual infatuation, lots of emotional expression between the two of you guys. And now you guys have reached the Two of Swords. So something has transpired. The question is, what? Okay. So here you go, Cancer. We've got the Hangman, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, and we've got the Queen of Wands at the basis of the situation. Okay, I'm being led to tell you guys about a situation where you guys needed to take action, and you didn't. Some of you guys didn't. So this is channeling specifically for that group of Cancers that kind of felt like it was time, okay? Because the Seven of Pentacles represents harvest time. It represents a time of maturity or maturation, a time where you've reached the point of it's time to pick the pentacles off the tree, okay? Seasonal changes. This is about life seasons, or cycles, not on this grand scale of the major arcana cycles, but just kind of like your choices cycling through. Okay, so it's, for me as a reader, it's a what you reap, you will sow card. Okay, so whatever seeds you planted in this situation, they're starting to come to fruition, or had started to come to fruition. I still feel like there's a little bit of this in the past energy. Okay, but you're still hanging back. And the universe, I want you to know, as this is a major arcana, the universe has you kind of hanging back. And so if you haven't been able to figure out why you can't just release, and why you can't just go for it, and why you can't just participate, or why you can't speak your mind or speak your truth, or whatever it is that you're holding back on necessarily with regards to this person, is the universe is hanging you back. And I think because the Seven of Pentacles is in reverse, even though the energy of the Seven of Pentacles is on the table, which means that there's some type of maturation, it's in reverse, which indicates that it's not time yet. Okay, so you're still not released by the universe to take action, okay? But when you take action, this is the card that's going to represent you. Fiery, passionate, sure of yourself, full on divine feminine energy, okay? So in your headspace right now, you have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So it almost seems like you guys are moving away from overthinking this. Like maybe you've even come into the realization that this is going to happen the way that it's going to happen in the time that it's going to happen. And there's not a lot that I can really do about it. So why should I be bothered with this headspace of, you know, bonding myself to myself in my own thoughts, afraid to move forward, afraid to move back, afraid to move at all, okay? But this is a self-imposed situation. She can take the blindfold off. She can take the chains off. She can move away from the Eight of Swords anytime that she wants to. Okay, so this is self-inflicted. And you guys have this in your head space, in your thought space, and it's in reverse. And with the fiery energy of the Queen of Wands at the basis of the situation and this in your headspace, that really lets me know that you guys are balancing your thought energy. Okay, so the energy that's being generated by overthinking is really, you guys are really balancing that out and getting that under control. Okay, and kind of learning to just kind of like hang back, but not hang back because you're afraid. Hang back because you realized or came to the realization that there's something bigger than you going on here, okay? So, there's, in the past position, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. So, I think what this is indicating is you guys were the Page of Wands, which is a very immature action energy or an inexperienced action energy, and you kind of tried but not really. It can be the card for me of passive aggressive attempts at inclusion or including yourself in a situation very passive aggressively when it's in the reverse, or a passive kind of energy because of inexperience. But when it's in reverse in the past position, it seems to me like this was a passive aggressive attempt. Okay, so I think that if you did make an attempt with your partner to move things forward, or I'm really not channeling move things forward. I'm kind of channeling like deciding whether or not this is your forever partner and you want to go forward with this situation or not. I think that's kind of what's on the table, because the Two of Swords indicates that you're at a crossroads with a decision where something needs to be cut. Okay? Otherwise, this would just be the Two of Pentacles, where you're grounding the decision and tethering it to the earth and making plans. The Two of Cups we have out on the table as an influencing energy, but it's not in the direct read. Okay, so that indicates at some point you guys were moving forward with this. Things were kind of going smoothly. You guys were, I want to say that it was just kind of flowing and it felt really good, but your anxiety or overthinking got in the way, which is fine. It's okay. It's okay. For some of you guys, getting back to the Wands storyline here, is that the Page of Wands was an immature attempt. At the basis of the situation for you guys is there is a motivation to make another attempt with more experience. Okay, so you guys have learned something here. You've learned from either your past attempts, or you've learned from your lack of past attempts, okay, or you've learned from this passive aggressive attempt. Or basically you're taking the lesson from your previous attempts and you're applying them to your current situation and the current energy here. And you want to take action, and you're pretty sure you know what action to take, but you're not being released by the universe just yet to take that action, okay? And in the future position, it's because the Two of Wands is in reverse. You're not really at a crossroads with this person. That's still the Eight of Swords energy in your headspace. So you have to process through all of the thoughts that were created by your anxiety fantasy, okay? And that's really what I call them, is negative fantasies. Creating scenarios that don't exist, that render fear as an emotional response, is a negative fantasy. It doesn't exist. It has never existed. It's a what if, and there are bazillions of what ifs. You could never plan for every single one of them, so why put yourself into this space of overthinking all the what ifs instead of focusing on the what is and what have, okay? So I think we'll get some clarifiers for the rest of these cards too. especially because in the emotional concerns is the Eight of Cups. It's in the upright, and that would indicate in this reading in connection with the other cards that the emotional concern is, do you walk away from this connection, or did this other person walk away from this connection? Or I think really what it is was this connection even ever real? Like what is happening right now? Or is it just some fantasy? Like maybe this was just a fantasy and I need to accept that it was a negative fantasy, positive fantasy, or just was all in general fantasy. Is there anything real about this connection, about this relationship, about whatever this is that you're pursuing? Is it real, or am I just creating all of this in my head? Okay, and the Two of Swords is the way that you're viewing the situation, but the what I'm seeing coming through, or what's coming through is it's not. It's just the way you're viewing the situation. It's not a crossroads. Okay, what's happening in this relationship is a result of previous heartache, not just with this person, but I do get a sense. Sorry, I'm hearing them. My guides are literally speaking to me in my head here right now. This is to some degree self-inflicted, is what I'm getting. Okay, so with the Eight of Wands energy on the table, and the past attempts being inexperienced and somewhat passive-aggressive ways of dealing with conflict. And really the Five of Swords card also is the card of ego for me. When I do readings, this is the ego card. So when this comes out in a reading and it's in the upright, it really can represent how you've, maybe not you personally, and this might not resonate with every Cancer out there, but how the person that this reading is about really operated or functioned from their ego, not from the place of love and the connection. And when you're in a place of anxiety and you're afraid of heartache or heartbreak, then your ego can kind of come out as the protective energy. And it's important to understand that ego doesn't have the purpose of the ego isn't to protect you from love. It's to protect you from genuine threats, that, things that threaten your life or threaten. And it's really an embodiment of a response, like the fight or flight response. So the purpose of the ego isn't psychologically to protect you from threats that are what you would experience in a relationship, is what I'm getting. I don't know that makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you guys. But there was, some type of egocentric behavior here, which is why the Page of Wands is here. And I think that you guys, if, and take into consideration what I said before, that, the masculine feminine duality is interchangeable. So even though this is a feminine energy on the card, I do feel what's coming through here is you guys want to level up. You guys want to mature. You guys want to become a better version of yourself, and you want to take action. So you want to kind of challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone and take action towards this person and be more involved. Okay, is what I'm getting from that. You want to act on the love. I do also feel like you feel a sense that you want to go back in time a little bit. Like you want to take it back to the energy and to the experience of the Two of Cups. And you're viewing the situation as the Two of Swords. Okay, and that you're at some type of crossroads, or some type of, choice needs to be made here. And though a choice may need to be made, you're not seeing things clearly enough to make that choice towards the Two of Cups energy. Okay. That's okay. It's okay, because the Justice card is on the table, and so is the Strength card. They're major arcana cards. They're both in the upright. So the universe is going to bring clarity. It's going to bring balance. You're going to feel that inner strength return. So if you've been feeling out of balance, out of sorts, and I think we started the reading by saying you guys have been feeling out of your element a little bit. And I really do feel like this is the confirmation that that's returning and it's being restored to you. So this is the external influencing energies with the major arcana cards, you guys. Okay, so we're going to dive in now with the other decks and get some clarification. I think that, you know, we've kind of embodied the body of the message really well. So if that resonates with you, then the rest of these cards are going to be specific messages more towards like what the advice is, what's really more going on specifically, and, you know, what you can do about it, or what you still need to work on internally, what's going on externally, and how you can improve the situation if that's what you desire. Okay, so we're going to clarify the Eight of Swords in reverse in the headspace. There's still something blocking you, okay? And the universe is blocking you because there's still something that you need to see and accept, okay? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guides. What message do you have for Cancer about the Eight of Swords in reverse? Adversity. Okay, so I feel like you need to accept your differences, okay? The two of you could be very different people, but still capable of really loving each other fully. And you may not see or do. I feel like do is coming out here because of the Wands energy here. You guys may not do things the same way. And they may question you a lot. I feel like sometimes the communication is, oh, okay, thank you. Real clear message here. Sometimes the way that your partner speaks to you causes you heartache or triggers a pain response, emotional pain response, because you're hearing the message as they don't think you're enough, or criticizing you because they do things differently from you, okay? Their main reasoning for asking you so many questions or trying to gain clarity is to understand you more deeply. And that's really endearing. Like the energy that I feel channeled through is that they love you so deeply. They want to understand you so fully that they just ask you tons of questions. Why are you doing that? What is going on? What's happening? Why are you doing it that way? They're not meaning to question your way of doing things, or they're not meaning to come off that way. So you might need to just focus on helping them understand. But I really feel like what needs to happen here is you need to kind of express this. Okay, and I think that's where we're going with this. I think you've made some passive-aggressive attempts at, or maybe some snide remark or remarks that have kind of alluded to the fact, or I think that there's been like you've done the same thing to them to make them feel that way so they can learn what it feels like so that they will be motivated not to do it back to you or do it to you. But really what's happened is you're misconstruing the situation. See how there's blinder on this woman? She's not seeing things. So she's using a forked tongue, and you can see the way that did I say forked tongue earlier? Yeah, okay. Some type of forked tongue situation is coming through with the Two of Swords energy. Thank God it's not the, Eight of Swords energy in the forked tongue situation. It's really more internal energy at the 8, because I really think that you have the power to really hurt your partner. Okay, so I do see that there's an imbalance here, and it has to do with that you're not accepting that your partner is different than you are. Okay, acceptance, the positive affirmation on the acceptance card is, I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. There are things about this person that you're not going to be able to change. They are who they are too, okay? And even though it may cause conflict to be different from each other, it's really the best way to learn. And this card does say, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And I think that that's an important way to get yourself unstuck from this energy. I'm not sure what's going on with my camera. Sorry, you guys. And restore yourself back to your inner strength. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the Justice card is here. It's in the upright with the Strength card, and the Two of Cups energy is also in the same grouping as the Justice card. So this felt really great, but not necessarily balanced. If that will resonate with some of you guys, maybe not all of you, but some Cancers out there. This energy felt great, but you weren't individually balanced. Okay. I feel like there was probably a lot of stuff going on with you guys that really was dreamy, but not necessarily realistic long-term. Okay. And I do feel like that's why you're questioning whether or not this relationship has long-term potential, because it is so dreamy and it is so passionate and there is so much energy between you and attraction between you. You're kind of going, was that even real? Does that really even exist? You know, and the cards are saying, yeah, because the Major Arcana is here. The universe is here going, yeah, this is real. You guys just need to ground it. Okay, so see how the Justice card is grounded in the sun, and the two become one. Okay, so the Justice card is really showing you that your individual strengths and this person's individual strengths, you guys can align yourself together and create something brilliant. Okay, but you have to work together. You have to work together. Okay, even though they're very different. You know, you have a lion and you have a woman. They're very different creatures, but their energies are in alignment with each other, because you can clearly see that her inner femininity is strong like a lion. You know, she's got that lion's roar, very Katy Perry-esque, channeling the energy of Katy Perry. But it's like, but they're both facing the same direction. You can see that they're moving together. There is something very much elegant about the way that they move together. And I do feel, Cancer, like this represents you, where you're being called to take the lead. Now, mind you, you are a cardinal sign. And when you are out of this energy of the Eight of Swords and you are out of your overthinking and you're really in your strength, you can be a really great leader, particularly in a relationship. So, but you have to understand that not everybody's going to just be on a leash and be led. They want to foster some degree of trust. And just the way that you want to feel secure with your partner, they want to feel secure with you before you can walk in the energy of, you know, I don't want to say like dominant necessarily, but exerting your masculine energy. And then you have, you know, almost like that kind of relationship, you know, that dynamic. That's the word. Thank you, Spirit. That dynamic in your relationship where you're the lead energy and that your partner comes with you, and you know, you're that cardinal sign, and you know, you get to express yourself in the relationship comfortably that way by leading. And that comes down to accepting that the words that your partner is using isn't criticizing your ability to lead. They're just trying to understand where they're being led. Because when and I really feel what I'm channeling is, when you realize, and maybe you already have, if you haven't, it's time to take the blinder off and listen to the message here. Okay, so let me really get in touch here and make sure that I channel this very accurately, because this is the important part of this message. So if you haven't really been paying attention, snap back over here, come back. When you take the blinder off, it's as important to understand the other person, your partner, your counterpart, is feeling just as vulnerable as you are. and forked tongue comments from you hurt them, and the togetherness that you are nostalgically longing to feel with your partner again never left the relationship. But what did enter the relationship is the Swords energy. And that came from your internal anxieties and your lack of understanding for the situation and inability to see it clearly. She's got a blinder on. She's got a blinder on. And even though the Justice energy represents a major arcana, there's a blinder there as well. So what I'm gathering from this is that it's bigger than you, Cancer. It's bigger than you. Like, you don't have to spend so much time and thought figuring this person out. You can trust this connection without explanation. Okay? I think you can give this person a little benefit of the doubt that they aren't trying to hurt you with those words or those questions. They're not questioning your authority. Okay? That's ego. So if that's where you're at in this situation with the Seven of Swords energy, is, I'm going to be the victor here and I'm going to make my point known. If that's really your attitude moving forward, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to spin your tires in the mud, metaphorically, because I don't feel like this person's going to lead. And if you're spinning your tires in the mud, you're not really going anywhere that you're leading them anyway. And maybe they are kind of starting to look at you like, what are you doing? I don't think that makes sense, because Cancer, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense to be led by someone who's spinning around wildly. Okay, so the Three of Swords, I think in this situation is really pointing to a little bit of touchiness between the two of you guys. I think because the connection is so deep and it's so emotional and it's so intense that there's a touchiness. Like, you guys know, you got to learn how you're pushing each other's buttons and when to do that for effect, and when most certainly not to do that. When is the effect necessary? Is your partner about to do something really dangerous? Okay, yeah, I need to snap them out of that. Is my ego hurt because of an exchange that I don't really understand, so I want to get back at them? Not in a vengeful way, but kind of the way that you're going about them learning about you is a way that makes you less vulnerable, sure, but it's hurting your partner, and actually it's hurting yourself because it's what's coming between you and this connection with your partner. So I'm getting a vision of Cancer laying in bed, take me back to when we loved each other this deeply and the emotional connection was so rich and it just was so open, and I just want to feel that connection and that just close ooshy-gushiness again. And it's like, well, then you have to do the heart work for you guys, okay? The heart work, not the hard work. Clever. Thank you, Spirit. You guys got to do the heart work. Okay, so I feel like there's some more cards coming through. Where are we going, Spirit? Ganesh? Okay. This is the Wild Offering Oracle deck. I love this 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 deck. I am so... I am so in love with Ganesh, but I just love the whole idea of like the remover of obstacles, because we sometimes get in our own way, and the idea that we can find healing in that and move forward. I just love the idea that we're healing and moving forward, and people are just opening up and accepting each other, and we're just learning from each other, and the spiritual work. Like, people are healing, and we're just tired of hurting each other, aren't we? And I'm getting off topic. Sorry, Cancer. Let me not. soapbox on this, but that was me coming through. I'm not channeling a message right there when I say that I love this deck and the block and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, sorry. Bring it back. Come back. Come back. Okay. No? Okay. I feel like I got this card for another sign. I can't remember which one now. You guys will have to go watch the other videos to find out if you're dealing with this other sign. And I know you guys like to hear which signs you could be dealing with. I think at the basis of the situation, you could be dealing with a fire sign or have a fire element in your own chart. But I do feel like you're dealing also with a fellow water sign. You could be dealing with a Leo specifically. Leo is here in the Queen of Wands. Leo is here in the Strength card. The Five of Swords upright can also represent the shadow side of Leo. So it does seem like there is some Leo energy here. For me, the Justice card represents Libra as well as sometimes the Earth sign Taurus. Okay, so I feel like, what is this? Oh, this is a very specific channeled message for a very small group of you guys. It may not resonate with all of you. For the Cancers that are in some type of online relationship and you haven't met in person yet, I feel like you've been hanging back because you want to make changes to your body. Okay, the change card and the body card came out, and it came out in reverse this way. Okay, so for some of you, the acceptance card has to do more with accepting your body, physically accepting yourself. So let's see what these cards say. Positive affirmation or prayer for the body card is, show me, divine, how to love and fully care for this body. Please give me the radiant miracle of accepting my body as it is. Okay, so that has to do, so maybe some of the insecurities was centered around, will this person accept me in the 3D world? So we have this great connection, yeah, but fill in the blank, and that becomes like the Eight of Swords energy there. Okay, and then the change card came out. I feel like this is not that you want to change your body. The body card is coming out with the Eight of Swords energy for some anxieties about being accepted by this person. The change card has come out because I think some of you realize that in order for this relationship to manifest fully, there's going to be a lot of changes involved in Cancers. You guys really struggle with change, just like Taurus can tend to struggle with change. There's something very lacking in security with change. And I do believe that change is very much a part of this. So maybe what you're hanging back on is knowing that everything's going to change. And you have to psychologically and mentally prepare yourself for the changes that you know you need to make in order to move forward with this connection and in this relationship. Okay? But I do feel, at least, at the very least, what's coming through is confirmation for you guys that this is a very strong mutual attraction. So if you feel really attracted to this person and they seemingly are beautiful in a way, or attractive in a way, or handsome in a way that seems intimidating to you, like they're just so pretty, I don't think that I'm in their league, or they're just so handsome, I don't know about this connection. Not the connection, but the attraction factor. The Two of Cups is here to tell you they feel like that too. So when they see you, they're in dreamy la la land. Like this is great. I like this. This is so sweet because it really just confirms for you, Cancer, that this isn't about what you think it is. Like this is where your misconception is coming in and your anxiety is playing on your ability to pursue this and what you want. Because this person really does accept you physically the way that you are, and they don't just accept you, They really love the way you look. They just think you're like the sexiest person, and they can't wait to like, I'm channeling that energy right now, and it's like they want to, you know, they just want to like pounce. They want to touch you and feel you, and oh God, it's amazing sexy energy. Oh God, yeah. So yeah, if you're in doubt in any way, shape, or form that your body will not be accepted by your partner, don't. Just don't. Find some way to heal that and let that go, because you're really self-inflicting this heartache and keeping yourself from your utter happiness with this person, okay? You're not at a crossroads with this situation. You know what you want. You just have to restore back to your inner strength so that you can pursue it. And in the real, because the Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving but very reliable, action-oriented knight. So when he takes action, he's sure of it. He knows that he's earthy, tethered to the ground in reality, making this happen for all the right reasons. He has dotted every I, crossed every T, and he knows what he's going after. Okay? So I do feel like this the reason why these cards are over here as clarifiers is because there's two different groups coming through for the reading. Of course, this one specific, and these are clarifiers for both groups in different ways. Okay, so for you guys, it's about accepting change. It's okay. Your partner definitely is attracted to you. Like, they're not just saying they're attracted to you. Like, they are not fluffing you up or giving you lip service. They really mean it. You're dreamy to them. Like, you are dreamy to them. It doesn't matter if they have like muscly guys on their Instagram and you're not muscly. I really don't think that those muscle guys are necessarily what they're like woo about. I think there's something else going on there. Yeah, it's not physical. I think that they maybe admire their discipline, or they admire something about the muscly guy, or and are you really looking at the right things? Are you looking to see if they follow women on Instagram that are like that too? Like, maybe they just like the whole idea of like working out. And if you don't, it seems like they're very accepting that you don't. And if they don't accept you, then I'm not talking to you, because this is not, the card of acceptance doesn't come out because, your partner isn't accepting you. This is confirmation that your partner does accept you. Even though you're different, your partner is accepting, very accepting of you. So the positive affirmation or prayer positive focus for meditation for the change card here is, don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. All you need is that one next action. And I feel like this is about healing from the past heartaches that have been caused by what you would consider failures. But understand that your previous attempts may not have been completely healthy or completely balanced. And that might be why the universe is intervening here and kind of going, no, step back. You guys aren't quite there yet. Don't let the dogs out yet. Okay, it's not quite there yet. It's okay to just slow down a little bit. Embody the energy of the Knight of Pentacles. He's still an action-oriented knight. He's still making moves, but at a slower pace, a methodical pace, because it's a meaningful pace. Okay? It's a very meaningful pace. This is let's ground this and make this real. Okay? So that's the one group. And I feel like in this other group over here, you guys are probably already in relationship. Maybe you guys live together. I feel like there's some type of physical union. And you guys have gotten past this whole phase with the body and the change and everything like that. And what's coming through for you guys is relationship and contentment. So maybe there's something a little unsettled about this, and you think that maybe your partner's considering, or you're considering, that this is a crossroads and maybe you need to choose one way or another, and it's really a misgiving. You're not seeing something in the situation. You're missing a key detail here, and I think that has to do more with an internal conflict or an internal thing, or the way that you guys have been communicating with each other. and you're focused on the words that they're using and not necessarily the meaning or the intent behind them. Okay, so what's channeling for you guys in relationship card is, I call in the infinite, sorry, let me start over. I call in the infinite power of love to take over this union in every way. So this, yeah, okay, so this is in alignment with what we found to be the body of the message in the beginning, right? Because we said that this is kind of like you're hanging back and you're just so over the overthinking and everything like that. Like you're just like, I just release it and give it to the divine. You figure it out, universe, because I don't even know what to do about this anymore. I gotta release it. I can't stay here and feel like this anymore. Okay, so bring it back. May it now fully belong to the divine. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. I needn't fear letting go of control. My needs are always abundantly met. And remember that we talked a little bit about the ego, and the ego can be subtle in this situation, but control is very much an egocentric pursuit because control is very protecting. It's self-protecting. If you're controlling your partner, the way that you wanted to embody the control in a situation like a dog on a leash, okay, but you're not dealing with a dog. Your partner has much more internal strength and power and doesn't deserve that type of treatment, okay? You're dealing with a divine partner, a divine partnership, or a love relationship marriage, okay? You're dealing with someone significant here. You can't leash this energy. So if you want a counterpart where you're the leader, guess what, Cancer? You have to step into the role and take the lead. You can't spin your wheels in the mud and expect your partner to be like, rawr, okay, let's go. Where to? As they get mud in the face and they're like, hey. And you're kind of like, what? I'm trying to drive the car here. And it's like, I just kind of feel like this whole banter going on where you're kind of like, not paying attention to what your partner's experience has been. So cross watchers, you listen up too if this is what your experience has been. I'll get some advice for you on how you can communicate a little bit better with your Cancers so that they can maybe see you with a little more value than a dog. Like they can see the lion in you and, you know, hold you to a higher level on the pedestal a little bit more, okay? So that's relationship. Contentment is the other card that came out here. So there's some type of lack. There's a listlessness. And I want to say listless because it's almost like you're really even unsure what is making you unhappy. But you just can't find out what it is, okay? So it's like all this pensive energy, but you can't really figure out why. There's just like no real reason. So contentment, you can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. And I feel like the focus is in what you already are. Okay. This goes back to the acceptance and everything like that too. Suddenly you remember, I'm right here resting in God. So this is really about the card of peace, inner peace. And I really think that that's confirming in your headspace what you're trying to accomplish with the Eight of Swords in reverse. Okay, so I feel like those are tied together, okay? So, cross watchers. We promised that we would get you guys some cards about how to communicate with your Cancer. Okay. Spirit, which deck? Tarot. Tarot after? Which deck? Sorry, I'm jumping the gun here. Okay, so cross watchers, some advice on what you guys can release, pray, shift your energy to. Okay, what's the advice for the cross watcher? Advice for the Cancer cross watcher in relationship. Okay, one's energetic, so that you're internal, and one is external. Okay, so doubt came out for the energetic. Okay, so cross-watcher, if you have internal doubt that you're trying to process through, understand that when you speak to your Cancer, because Cancerians can pick up on energies, they're usually empathic, or water signs typically are psychic if they're aware of their abilities or not, really determines how they use those abilities and how they interpret. So if you're dealing with a water sign that doesn't have a strong awareness of just how empathic or just how affected they are by others' energy, maybe you can step into that role a little bit and help yourself understand how affected your partner is, not just by the words that you use, but just by the general energy in which you go about your interactions with them. So if your Cancer does something, and maybe they have, and it's been in the Page of Wands energy where it's really inexperienced, and you're kind of doubting whether or not it's even going to be successful or a positive intervention, or if you're going to get good results from it. This is your own internal work, and it's probably a better idea for the happiness and contentment in the relationship with your Cancerian to just take a step back and go, okay, I'm having doubt, which has nothing to do with you. It has to do with my own insecurities, and vocalize that. And then turn to your Cancer and go, so maybe we can work through this together with my emotional self and my doubts included. I'm not doubting you. I don't know what I'm doubting, but here's a positive affirmation that will help you release some of this doubt that you might be experiencing, okay? Because instead of projecting it onto your Cancer and expecting them to work through that too, you know, because I don't think a Cancer wants you to feel disappointed or feel like you're unsure about things, but I think they can sense and pick up on your doubt. Positive affirmation here, offering all to the divine doesn't mean negativity never arises. Okay, so maybe just acknowledging that the negative emotion has come up without blaming the Cancer for the negative emotion, because I think that the Cancer has the tendency to just take things so personally. Remember we talked about that touchiness or that button pushing in the relationship, and there's been a bit of that kind of in your interactions and communications lately. I think that you guys are kind of like running this cycle, and the way out of this cycle and back to the Two of Cups energy is in this release, which is free me from this prison of doubt. Oh, and doesn't that just match the headspace of what's been going on with the Eight of Swords here? I cast this burden to you, which is a capital U like the divine. Show me your will and restore me to faith and confidence. Okay, so when you have faith and confidence that the universe and spirit and you're being divinely guided in the relationship, even if your partner is doing something that doesn't necessarily look like it makes sense, remember it comes back to this adversity card. You also have to accept your Cancer for being different from you, okay? So yes, they're gonna work on accepting you for who you are, but you can also work on accepting your Cancer for who they are and possibly help the relationship restore back to the inner strength and the Two of Cups energy by releasing your doubt back to the universe and trusting that things will work out, okay? Because if at the very least, your Cancer's true intention is to level up from this Page of Wands energy into the Queen of Wands energy, and they really want to be the champion. Okay. They want to be the champion for you, and they were originally doing it immaturely out of their ego, but they've since learned or have come to the realization that they want to be a real true champion, not just like, they don't want to just talk about being your champion or whatever, but your Cancer wants to actually be your real true life hero. Okay, that's what I see coming through for the one group. And I think that the doubt goes along with the body change. And that could be why your Cancer is feeling a little bit insecure about whether or not you're going to accept their body or accept them in general, is because of this doubt that kind of comes up. And it might be frequent for you. So cross-watcher, you might want to do a little bit of internal work and release some of your insecurities yourself, or do some healing from your past heartache so that you're not so touchy. You guys aren't so touchy with each other, kind of touchy. Okay, so for this other group with relationship contentment, if this resonated with you, then this is your card that's coming up for the cross watcher, is true love. Okay, so there's that card, beautiful pink. Your wholeness and safety lie within, not from a partner. Okay, so this is pretty much channeling the same energy as that, for the other group too. So like I said, same energy, but manifesting and expressing itself differently in the different situations. But this sovereignty actually leads to the deepest intimacy for you to stop using others. Let me stand on my own feet, dear Lord, and know true love. Okay, so this is about that justice card that we were talking about before. Okay, is yes, there may be a leader and there may be a follower in the energy, in the energetic space, but that doesn't mean you've lost your individuality or your value in the relationship. So if you have, out of the ego, Cancer, treated your partner in a way that they are less than, that's not divine leadership, Cancer. That's egocentric condescension, and that does not foster true love. If you want to nurture and foster true love with your partner, you have to accept them for who they are, but you also have to see them genuinely in a light of strength. So even though they're a dependent or they're dependent on you, that is not causality to put them down or hold them down as even less. They're not less than. Okay? And Cancer, why would you ever want to choose a partner that isn't capable? You want a capable partner. You acknowledge that you love strong, or, you know, I want to say what I'm channeling through is that what you loved about this person and found so attractive about them is that they are so strong. And wow, boy, they're a whopper of a person. They really impress you. Okay, so whatever internal insecurities are getting the better of you guys in this relationship, I really feel like you guys really have to work through those internal insecurities individually, not bring them codependently to each other in the relationship and try to hash it out with one another, but just accept each other for who you are. Weaknesses included, inabilities included. Accept yourself in the space that's created in that individuality. Restore your love and internal strength. And as you move forward, step out in true love in the relationship and get those egos under control, because the egocentric kind of communication is causing some significant problems for you guys. Okay, I hope that resonated with you guys. If it did, click like, subscribe, notification bell. Come back for more. Let's see. So April, yeah. So come back for more, because I'll be breaking April down into weeks and other channeled readings if there's emergency readings that may need to come through, okay? If you guys want a personal reading or you want an extended reading to this energy and this resonated with you and you want more details or you have specific questions, look to the description box below. There's information on how to contact and reach out to me to request a personal reading. You can choose from the options that I've listed below, or you can reach out to me and we can create something for you customized based on your needs. Okay, so don't feel hesitant to reach out to me and, you know, open up the lines of communication. I have no problem talking with you guys about anything you need. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Thank you. Mwah. Okay, light and love to everybody here. Namaste.